Hello, good morning. Very quick and actually very unplanned live this morning. I had intended to do a video on this subject and I recorded it on Tuesday, ready to put out today, and somehow I've deleted the video. So we're having it live instead. So I apologise that this is going to be a lot more waffly than I intended because I'm hopeless at just talking live. So you are used to me doing Monday mantras, picking a specific mantra each week, telling you what it's useful for, putting it out there for you. And that's great. But I thought you might be interested in what I do for myself. So I use mantra every single day, without fail. I intend to use mantra every day as soon as I get up. What actually happens is that I tend to do it last thing before I go to bed because time gets away from me. If I can do it first thing in the morning, I find it much, much more powerful. I'm far more focused. But doing it last thing at night is better than not doing it at all. So I have learned to be kind to myself and not beat myself up if the day has got away from me. In an ideal world, I would get out of bed, float around, have a shower, get dressed, do my mantra, everything would be fine. In the real world, I'm a single mum of 3 kids who go to 2 different schools in 2 different towns, and getting them to school on time generally takes precedence over my mantra. Not always, but it seems to always take precedence over my coffee, which is wrong. So I use mantra every single day. What I'm doing at the moment is a 40-day practice. So I have chosen 4 mantras that suit my aims and goals at the moment. And I do 1 mala of each of those 4 in a sitting. So it takes me about 20 minutes to do all of those 4 mantras. And for 40 days, I'm doing them for 40 days because if you can do a mantra practice, it's traditional to do a mantra for either 20 days or 40 days, or sometimes a particular number of repetitions, then it'd be something like 100,000 repetitions. I'm not counting to 100,000. You don't do that in one sitting, obviously, but over the course of time. There's too much going on in my life to be doing that, so it's like 40 days, and I keep a mantra diary. So I write in that most days. So I write in the beginning of the 40 days what the mantras that I'm using are going to be. And then each time I write in it, I make a note of what day we're up to. So at the moment, we're up to day 35 today. So I've only got 5 days left. 6 days including today because I haven't done it yet today. 5 days left of this 40-day practice. And then each time I write in there, I write about the session itself, whether I was focused, how I felt like it went. Sometimes, you feel like you're in the zone, you're focused, the energy's flowing through you, it feels amazing. And other times, it feels like the biggest slog in the world and your brain is doing the grocery shop. You're thinking about 100 other things and you have to keep pulling it back to try, and it's really hard work. And that's just how it goes. Nobody has laser focus all of the time. So I talk about how I felt the session itself went and whether I was focused and whether it felt good, whether it was hard. But I also talk about my progress throughout the 40 days towards the goals that I've set. So whether I can feel things working and, or perhaps whether I feel like I've got the wrong focus or however it might be. So at the moment, as I say, I've got 4 on the go at the moment. One is, the first one, I always do them in the same order as well. The first one is to Lakshmi. It's the abundance. There are lots of Lakshmi mantras, but this is the abundance mantra that I've used on Monday mantra a few times. I don't normally use her for myself, but my focus with this one is the business because lockdown has been hard and now we're reopening and things are changing all the time and it's still really hard. So I've asked for a little bit of help there to make sure we're actually going to survive this, because otherwise it's going to be tough. And I use the Ganapati mantra, the Om Gum Ganapati Ye Swaha. And it's interesting, I use that one a lot, but it's a good one on its own as a test of your focus, because it's really powerful. It creates a lot of energy, and you've got to direct that energy where you want it. Because if you don't, the energy is going to go somewhere. And I've heard a few tales of the crazy things that energy can do, like blowing the electrics in a house and things, when people have used it and not focused. So it always feels a bit risky, especially if I've got a really poor focus. But it's a good test in itself of, can you shut it all out and focus just for these 5 minutes? Can you just focus where you want that energy to go? So that's a good meditation task in itself. And the third one I want to tell you about, and this is the first time I've ever used this mantra, and it's a bit of a revelation to me. I don't know if you remember that sort of during lockdown, and as we were coming out of lockdown, I mentioned a few times that I'd had to cancel things because I had really bad vertigo. Well, I mean, I do have vertigo, but it turns out that it wasn't vertigo causing my really bad dizziness. And in fact, I'd become severely anemic. I have a problem with anemia anyway, because I have celiac disease. And even when it's all perfectly fine, I'm still anemic. But I had managed to get ridiculously anemic, even more so than when I had anemia problems in my last pregnancy, and they wanted, and infusions were involved and all sorts of things. I was more more anemic than that. So yeah, I got to the point of passing out and things like that. So I found a mantra. It's the mantra for Mars. So it's in the planetary mantras that I have been looking at recently. And one of the things that mantra works on is red blood cells, and it was my red blood cell count that was incredibly low. So I've been using that mantra alongside the iron supplements that I've had to have. Now, I've had iron supplements at this same level many, many times. And whilst they work, I have never known them work as fast as they have while I've been doing this mantra. I don't have any of the symptoms of that I had before. I'm not breathless. I'm not passing out. I don't wake up in the morning and find that the room's spinning. I'm not just falling asleep at the drop of a hat. So all of that has gone, and it's gone so much more quickly than when I've only used iron on its own. So I've been really impressed with that. And say I've got 5 days left of using that mantra, and I'll have used it for 40 days. At the end of my 40 days, I will see where I've got to with each of the goals that I'd set for those mantras. And either set new priorities, or if I've still got the same priorities, or if some of them don't change, select new mantras for those priorities. So I'm not using the same mantra for more than 40 days in a row. It just helps to come at things from different angles. So that's what I'll be doing next week, is choosing my new mantras. I don't always choose 4. 4 is just what I happen to. Some days I feel like I could choose 100 and I might just get everything covered. But 4 is manageable. And because they all take about 5 minutes, so I can manage to find 20 minutes to do that. If I was doing some of the longer ones that are 20, 25 minutes on their own, I would struggle to do 3 others as well, because, time can be difficult to come by. I may, in a couple of days, do another live of my actual practice. I'm not going to do it today because I'm aware that this has already rambled on quite a lot. So, yeah, I just thought you might be interested to know how I use mantra, aside from Monday mantra in it, and what a kind of life-affirming and life-changing experience I find it. I don't function as well if I'm not doing my mantra every day. It just makes it, apart from the goals that I'm working towards, it just makes everything in my head work better. So there you go. I have rambled. I think I covered all the points I did in the video that I somehow managed to delete. But let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, if you want any suggestions, just drop a comment. Namaste.